Well, the people in Berlin, they're definitely considering whether to get a nice S-Bahn ticket or the brand new Tesla Model 3 Performance, right?
That would definitely be worth considering.
We have a brand new Tesla Model 3 Performance available for you, providing an initial and brief first driving impression. Tesla has made numerous changes to the exterior, the interior, and significantly enhanced the already advanced suspension technology for better performance. And on the performance figures. Yes, my first impression, because at least 2 more videos with the Tesla Model 3 Performance, which showcases its unique capabilities and features in great detail, will follow in the future. We also want to take a consumption drive with the car to see how efficient it is and how it maybe differs from the standard Model 3. And you definitely shouldn't miss this. To make sure you don't miss it, please check it out. If you're in the Einfach elektrische community or not, support us with a subscription. And now let's begin by starting with the first video on the Tesla Model 3 Performance. And as always, we'll start from the outside, start from the front, first wanting to get an impression of the new Tesla Model 3 Performance. And I have to say, Tesla is finally taking automaker roots, meaning they've worked intensely on the design. The new Highland front up here you already know, but for the performance model, they've made a changed front bumper with large R-curtain air intakes. And Stefan, you have to show this from the side. There's also a really cool side skirt added on with a lift. I have to say, I really like that you can now instantly distinguish the Model 3 Performance at first glance, which makes it stand out easily from other models on the road. This change adds a unique and sporty edge to the car's appearance. Yeah, matrix functions in headlights were already there anyway. Over-the-air updates, that's also available in the Model 3 Performance. And of course, there are also really big rims. That essentially means Tesla hit really hard again. Front 235/35 R20. And these plastic elements, which of course serve aerodynamics, can very evidently be removed, making everything quite flexible and interesting. The new Model 3 Performance also features a high-performance brake with red calipers. That has always been the hallmark of our designs, and I mean the rim remains currently exclusive to the Model 3 Performance and cannot be found on any other models at the moment. You can also feel free to write that information in the comments if there have been any updates. Yes, otherwise he's actually quite similar from the side. So the question arises, Stefan, do we need more here? Like, do we need those slightly flared fenders, kind of like what you see on a BMW M3 or something?
You mean just for the unique selling point of the performance model?
Yes.
Maybe you'd wish for that, to keep them a little bit more distinct, you know?
That would be really nice, a bit of wider fenders, front and rear, just like we see with Audi, especially on the fantastic RS models. So feel free to leave your opinion in the comments, or does it not fit at all into this insane new world of electric cars? The rear spoiler has constantly been in matte carbon, but now with this new hump. And I have to say, it highlights this sideline here. It slopes down coupe style, but it remains a notchback sedan. And here basically the line was picked up again, really cool, adding a burst of excitement to the scene. And in the end, it should also create a bit more pressure to adapt. Right. Oh, very good. Whether it will measure up in terms of driving values, we want to test that further in a more extensive video. Yes, like the plate, its plate symbol also got the performance, its performance symbol. I don't know what it stands for. Definitely looks like strong acceleration, right?
Yeah, somehow that really reminds me a bit of the Star Wars original intro.
Yeah, sort of like Warp 1, right? Oh no, that was Star Trek.
That was Star Trek.
Yeah, but look down here. We've got an exceptionally powerful high-performance heck diffuser here, of course. That, as well, is a distinctive selling point specifically for the Model 3 Performance. You can also recognize so to speak, the new model by this. And it would have been really cool if there were some real or at least suggested air vents here. I don't want to criticize, I just want to handle the Model 3 Performance constructively and compare it to the world of combustion engines to see how it measures up in different aspects. So feel free to leave a comment if you have a different opinion. It's 4.72 meters long, and that makes it 3 centimeters longer than the typical standard model. We have it 1.84 meters wide, 1.43 meters high, and thus 1 centimeter lower than the standard model. And we have approximately 2.87 meters here, if I remember correctly, for the overall wheelbase. In the wheelbase, the battery pack is integrated. We also have, of course, like in long range, 78.1 kilowatt hours gross. And 75 kilowatt hours are most likely usable. So it's rumored to have a range of up to 528 kilometers on Tesla's official website, say multiple sources who have discussed it online recently. Yes, back here in the newly designed taillight, which we already showed you in the Model 3 Highland video, we have the charging port also in the performance model with AC 3-phase 11 kilowatt and DC fast charging. At the right charging station, then up to 250 kilowatt at right charging station. We usually charge at Ionity and sometimes don't meet the values there, right? Yes.
Which surprised us once.
That's supposed to sometimes be a bit related to the superchargers. They can probably do everything much better than an Ionity station, right?
Yes, definitely.
Maybe that's one of Tesla's little known secrets, or if you know, feel free to write it in the comments explaining why. High performance means that it should accelerate from 0 to 100 in 3.1 seconds, which indeed makes perfect sense to verify for accuracy. Why? Because we weirdly never reach the factory specs with Tesla, right? Yeah.
Strangely enough.
Well, I'll say when Tesla gives acceleration values, we don't always know exactly, is that to 60 miles or 100 km/h? Is it already slightly rolling or from a standstill? I don't want to bash it, it's the truth, because that's how it is, believe me. You'll witness it too. We had the Tesla Model Y performance and did various exciting launches, also with the drag strip and additional enhanced functions to demonstrate its capabilities. We didn't get the expected values.
Nee, wir konnten machen, was wir wollten, ja.
Right, and of course we'll need to verify that again in another video here on the Highland on a comparable route to ensure accuracy. Yes, 262 km/h top speed, those are indeed impressive numbers, and we have adaptive dampers here, which you can't manually adjust in the Model 3 Performance, but are likely controlled through vision-only systems, giving a more seamless driving experience overall. Concerning the cameras in principle and the driving speed and other values, then decide how they adjust harder or softer. On the other hand, I think the Highland and consequently the new Model 3 Performance certainly received a notable upgrade in the suspension as well. We are going to test that with you too, because as always, we like to look under the front hood since the Model 3 Performance also integrates the 88-litre frunk volume, which is surprisingly spacious. That means we don't have to make any compromises here like with other models where the frunk gets smaller because maybe there's an electric motor in front or other performance accessories. Yes, we also can't really listen to how it sounds because it just doesn't really make any kind of sense, Stefan, does it now?
Just a simple click mix.
Isn't it a shame?
Clattering, that's missing.
Yes, currently you can still get it for 56,990 euros in the base model. But basically it's almost a full option setup. You can also choose the seat color, the exterior color, a trailer hitch, and a few small details if I got that right. Plus, of course, enhanced autopilot and full self-driving, though it's always a question of whether it's worth it for you, because the lane change assistant, even though it's advanced technology, it's not always perfect. We've shown that in many insightful and engaging videos, and calling for help in Germany works very rarely too. Yes, and the only thing that works is moving forward and backing out of a parking space, and full self-driving seems to work very well in the beta version in America. I want to underline that too, but in Europe I continue to find it to be quite a catastrophe. Especially when you compare it with other premium manufacturers, Audi, Cupra, which we just drove in Barcelona in all models, and of course BMW and Mercedes, who are simply much further ahead and can support us in Germany much better with semi-autonomous driving. Let's have a look in the trunk, and there surprisingly we find a spacious 594 liters of storage space. I must say that's truly awesome. Look how everything is intricately carpeted so richly. Also here the entry strip is covered with carpet. I have to say Tesla is really becoming a pioneer now. When it comes to quality and the material mix, it has really turned 180 degrees, indeed 360 degrees, or perhaps even 520 degrees. You just have to give a big fat compliment for the incredible improvement and attention to every little detail. Here, each usable space is thoroughly maximized, so absolutely everything can be conveniently and properly stored accordingly. Yes, 40% on the passenger side, and you should also have the option here again, I believe, which is really beneficial for everyone involved. That's how I remember it, just folding down the middle. Not quite possible, Stefan?
Sadly not.
That is, of course, a drawback, because if you could move the 20% in the middle, you would have a pass-through for a long item or skis in winter. So only about 60% of the driver's side is usable, and overall, I guess you get around 1,000 liters of storage space, since we unfortunately have a sedan here. And yeah, sedan is just a notchback. I would have wished to have a large opening tailgate like the Model S or Model Y, so that you could make much better use of this ample storage space to fit various items and luggage. What opens electrically should also close electrically, and that's how it should be. I found no roof load on the Model 3 Performance. I might need your collective knowledge, your help. The car has just recently hit the market. Whether a roof load is also possible, maybe with 75 kilo. Moreover, I couldn't find a tow hitch in the Tesla configurator, nor does it appear to be an available option. Of course, with this modified rear diffuser, it might be different on the performance model. The question is always, would you, and please write that in the comments, Tare, because I know that Tesla's press office also watches our videos. Do you also want a tow hitch on a performance model? Because then they will probably crystallize and pass it on, so that eventually we can also contribute to supporting Tesla and other innovative projects in the industry. In the customer request, do you need a tow hitch, or don't you need it in a performance model? Or maybe it will be added on later. If you know, please write it in the comments. Outside, we're done. Let's move to the interior, and of course we have double gasification. That's already been standard in Highland. 2 layers connected with a film. And now let's take a look at the interior, because here too, Tesla indeed has created performance highlights for the Model 3. For one, up here, I find it really, really nice, softly padded like a faux leather look. Then there's this silver colored trim behind which hides ambient lighting, very, very cool. Here, there is no fabric like in the other Highland models, but Alcantara, as a Spaniard would say. So really nice microfiber Alcantara. Looks very, very nice, synthetic leather, then again with a gray stitch. We still have the power windows in the doors, and yeah, everything down here is also padded softly and comfortably, which adds a touch of elegance. Now that's truly extraordinary, genuinely and remarkably exemplary. Here everything is carpeted, thick carpet. I must say, Stefan, a highlight, right?
Yeah,
Yes, very. And now Tesla is slowly but surely overtaking our German car manufacturers. When I compare this with the latest Cupra models, then this is truly a different ballgame with entirely new dynamics.
Absolutely.
And look here, Stefan, there's no fabric here either. Here we have nice matte carbon fiber, just like it belongs in such a performance car. That means from the outside to the inside, the matte carbon from the rear spoiler is also transferred to the interior. I genuinely have to truthfully say, Tesla, hats off and thumbs up to you. Welcome once again here in the interior, and you can see the dashboard clearly, and of course there's the simplicity you expect from a Tesla, making your driving experience enjoyable. Yes, a lot has changed with the steering wheel. The nice, small, handy steering wheel has also been adopted here. In the performance version, there's no change, like it being flattened at the top and bottom or having carbon fiber in it. That would have been another highlight, of course, because it would have matched way, way better than this silver look we have here in the center console. Well, to be honest, I would have really liked matte carbon there too. That would have been a truly mega highlight. Yeah, where opinions differ among the gods is, on one hand, the Tesla fanboys say, we don't need turn signal stalks. I say we do, because even after several adjustments and drives in different models with this steering wheel setup, it never meets the practical expectations I have. I would really love my turn signal lever exactly right here. So, and the only reason why Tesla does this is not because they want to teach us simplicity, but because they want to save money. Then, I don't know, whatever a turn signal lever costs in development, implementation with switches and dip switches, and because it costs Coco, I'll just say $2, on 1 million cars produced, they then save $2 million. Precisely, it's the very reason Tesla acts that way. It's not meant to teach you simplicity. So from that perspective, he always approaches it with open eyes, I think. We definitely do the same. And we don't let the fanboys with rose-colored glasses infiltrate us here. Yes, the software is quite insane. And the computer, and we have to be honest, it's one of the best systems software-wise that you can buy for money, especially in this price-performance ratio. When you factor in its reliability and the overall user experience, it's hard to find a better deal on the market. Sure, you can't compare it to a Mercedes EQS Hyperscreen, but that model costs over double, making it less accessible to the average consumer. Yes, all the features are included here, including the excellent Tesla supercharger network. That ultimately means if we just enter any potential destination here now, like Munich, then it should be resolved in a very, very quick manner. Now, he somehow found something else, Stefan, right? He probably should have entered Munich now. He's not that smart. Where's the U? This one here, or perhaps what? Oh no, that's up ahead, right? Oh, look at that. That's really cool here, right? Just take a good look and then it works, right? So when we plan a route like this, you see how quickly it calculates the route. Google Maps as the base, then adds real-time traffic data and plugs in the necessary charging stops. We have 93 state of charge, which means right now it recommends us to make a charging stop at Münchberg North. Of course, that's a great story, but seriously, driving under 120 km/h to reach the destination. Who does Tesla think it's fooling, eh?
Mit einem Hyper.
Performance cars.
Seriously? With
wirklich.
460 horsepower and we're just dawdling along at only 120 on this freeway. Write in the comments, someone should definitely improve that and maybe include a bit of a high performance starting point in the charge planning for the performance models too, right?
Yeah, not only do they want to teach us simplicity, but they also say like you have low farmer, and then realizing you mess up, it just becomes a bigger issue.
But actually they profit from charging electricity, right? They don't just give it away, right?
Shooting themselves in the foot?
I'm unsure. Do you believe we have something truly great here?
We continue to research.
The world is serious enough, let's stay serious. We've got two nice inductive charging pads here for large smartphones, which I think is great. Also nicely equipped with Alcantara, and we've got big storage compartments here with a 12-volt socket lined with felt. Then open it twice. I'm missing something like an insert, a drawer, but there are aftermarket options to expand it. Here's the sound meter. We're going to measure the interior noise in 2 cup holders. I believe that was executed quite well. It seems all perfectly good. Here, a large storage compartment, quite deep. I believe there were 1 or 2 USB-C ports, if I can remember correctly from earlier.
Genau.
And here again, nicely covered with faux leather. What's included in the price, of course, is the beautiful panoramic glass roof, which is unfortunately interrupted in the middle because the rear window extends all the way back to the trunk lid. Well, in the Model Y, it's a bit nicer with the sloped rear hatch and the continuous...
Yes, it looks nicer that way, exactly. And what we also don't have, we still don't have a cover over it.
And up here, the premium sound system now includes a center speaker. We have to try that again later, like with Bose or Uncles or something, to see how the sound in the car is. Absolutely. A look through the passenger door reveals the next highlight, those incredibly super cool racing seats that stand out instantly. So really high performance sports seats with proper lumbar supports, with adequate and firm thigh supports that enhance comfort. Also nice here in the seat length, nicely long perforated. You already have seat heating and seat ventilation as standard in the Model 3 Highland. Again, nicely done. Transferring the sign from the back to the seats, although something like the M3 Performance would have been absolutely awesome too, providing an even greater experience. But Tesla is nice and subtle, built-in headrest, great shoulder support. So these are actually some incredibly super tight, comfy, and really awesome seats. Certainly, we will definitely test its long-distance capability in a future video. Yes, we have included plenty of wonderful and great things here too. The glove compartment, which is nicely lined with felt. We've shown you this many times already, no need to go into it again. All carpeted, really nicely done, even up to the door sill. I have to say, it's awesome. And even here, Stefan, even here. Listens to Tesla and watches our videos. Softly padded, like some kind of plastic. Look, nothing rattles here, nothing buzzes here. You know, back in my Model S days, I actually got this ointment, or rather this paste, you know, it was something like udder cream or so, to stop the seats from creaking against the center console. That's all in the past for Tesla, I think. So they really did learn and evolves, and our car manufacturers, I sometimes feel they have evolved, but then somehow revert back to the stone age of car building. So I really have to say, even though I'm always heavily criticized by you when I mention Tesla, but here I really have to praise Tesla. So it's not easy for me, but it's like this. I obviously wanted to say that it's easy for me to praise Tesla because they do an amazing job. I am 1.85 meters tall, weigh 99.9 kilograms, and we want to see how much space I have here in the Model 3 Performance in the back because it has different front seats. And I'm sitting here very, very neatly. That was also already the well-known insight from the Highland. That is the standard model. And what I can't stop praising today, Stefan, it's incredible, no?
Das ist fürchterlich.
So it's like someone at Tesla is constantly watching our videos and we're annoying everyone with the center armrest and the front cup holders folding down the third headrest. All set, right? Yeah, nice, put a level here, 2 cup holders. I have the entire width here too. To rest my arms on this area, I'm not sticking my elbow in a cup holder like usual. Just a straight A, right? And back here, I am also appropriately seated in my place as well. 2 Tesla ISOFIX mounts, driver passenger side, the armrest folds up as well. Look, Stefan, here's a nice little infotainment display, which I actually think is pretty cool. Find some Netflix, Twitch up there, or just follow electrically on YouTube. Air conditioning, controls, a few games, air vents, 2 USB-C ports. This is all really, really amazing. Seat heating, then of course here the driver and passenger seat, but no seat ventilation included, unfortunately. Tesla is quite stingy, right? Yeah, oh well. So that would be in order to get the A+, right?
one with a star, exactly.
Also nicely covered with this kind of plastic back here. Feels high quality, though it could have been faux leather, but let's not complain and whine. The only thing that might be missing is somehow a net or a pocket so you can put your smartphone, tablet, or a nice newspaper like the T&E magazine. Make sure to check it out at tmagazine.de. I write the detailed car reviews every Friday in the newsletter too. Feel free to subscribe for free. And you can get the T&E magazine conveniently sent to your home for cost price, of course. Stefan subscribed to it too, right? It's a must-have. And look, it continues. Sorry, folks. I mean, I don't know. I'm a Tesla fan. Look, nice faux leather here, a seam, nothing rattles here, nothing shakes. It's all soft under the foam when you slide in here. Hey, what's up, Tesla, huh?
You're slowly becoming a real fanboy, look.
Here, all carpeted, everything nicely done, an entrance thing there. That's insane. But I have one criticism. You always find something if you want something. Black roof lining, right? Please write it in the comments. Wouldn't that be an awesome highlight, right? Nice Alcantara style, just like in my Model S Performance.
Yeah, sure, we'll take it. What exactly are you melting here again?
Well, your comment wasn't too nice.
Which one?
Why not tell viewers?
You're such a dedicated Tesla fanboy now. But is that just because you used to sleep in Tesla bedding as a kid, back in the day, right?
Bro, I was born in 75, and in 75, I don't think we even had a Tesla back then for us. So probably yes, but not really in the form that we know it. By the way, I have another criticism. That really gets on my ... That's a curious wobbly lip. How could you put such a wobbly lip on a high-performance model, right? Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Nobody really knows that, right? Fuel-saving protection.
Man, seriously, you're in such a good mood. You want to boost Tesla a bit, and then out of nowhere, some annoying blabbermouth shows up and ruins everything, right? Well, anyway, I'd say we've got everything outside, everything inside, including the wobbly lip. Let's dive in. We want to experience the Model 3 performance. Come on, let's get going with the driving report, and we'll initially kick things off by speeding over those cobblestones at around 30 miles per hour. But nothing rattles or clatters here, right?
No, remember the old Model 3 we had?
That makes it firm but comfortable, so it's actually fun here in the sports seats. Yes.
That stays in remarkably well too.
But you wanted to say something about the bed linens, right?
Yeah, but you said there was no Tesla back then. And what about Nikola Tesla? He made so much in electrical engineering and everything else possible with the AC motor, the light bulb, and all that groundbreaking stuff, right?
That's just more of your political word games. I thought we agreed this channel wouldn't get political because I'm talking about the bed sheets. And the luxurious Tesla bedding from the renowned Tesla brand.
Did you used to be a Tesla fanboy back then?
I have absolutely no clue. In the Model 3 Performance, you obviously also have 3 distinct performance options available to choose from. Casual, just cruising around the big city like in Berlin, enjoying life. Then the standard for all those who want to travel swiftly as their usual standard of travel and expectation. And then there's the madness, where naturally here, we can unleash the madness on the engines, letting these powerful machines truly show their unbelievable power and intensity. Yes, we have 2 electric motors, one on the front axle, one on the rear axle, together 460 horsepower system output, and somehow it feels like, I think, 800 Newton meters of torque, right? Yes.
So we continued forward. Hello, hello! My headphones nearly slipped off my head as we moved through the crowd.
And I just have to say, it truly is quite awesome because Tesla keeps making it happen every single time. In the performance models, it was the same back then in 2019 in my Model S Performance Raven. It's always just the way it is with these kinds of cars. Pulls everything back and makes all your facial features move backward. So I'd say for everyone who needs a free facelift, they should actually get a Model 3 Performance, right? That's better than Botox or hyaluronic acid, right? Especially
a grin that also gently pulls back.
And I have to say this performance model is indeed getting noticed. So people respond to it. Did you happen to see those enthusiastic young guys over there at Reinickendorf station? Hey, can we take a quick spin around? So Tesla particularly appeals to a younger audience, drawing them in naturally, and it stands firmly for both incredible power and exceptional performance. And I absolutely think it's truly awesome that Tesla now, sure, 56,190 euros is certainly a lot of money for many people. And a lot of money at Tesla right now are basically refinancing options through leasing or financing. I believe, as it has always been with Tesla, there is a need for improvement or somehow bring in external financing or leasing. Affordability, right?
Yes.
Well, sure, if you're comparing the car now, you'd have to compare it to a BMW M3 or an Audi RS, simply based on performance data. Sure, they're also much. More expensive, usually twice as much, or here a C63, AMG e-Performance. And that's really Tesla's own doing, because they don't have, I think, any partners who provide attractive leasing and financing options for their customers. There are interest rates behind it with 8-point-something%. That's just utter madness. And madness, I really think, is also the lane change with these strange blinkers. Because every single time I'm still at these...
To the lever.
Yes. Where the Tesla naturally has its roots is on the highway, demonstrating its capabilities. And you can also notice the firm yet comfortable suspension, as it shows almost no body roll here, which is beneficial on winding roads. It's nice and firm and very, very comfortable, I think, for this specific performance class. Wouldn't you agree with me? Yes.
And taut as well.
So in that regard, it's kind of like driving a go-kart. It reminds me of an evolution of the old chassis with significant performance enhancements.
Ja, das war auch, ja.
Sure, it's new with adaptive dampers, but the old one was also quite go-kart-like, providing a thrilling driving experience right from the start. And he actually embodies that here really, really well, I think.
Ja.
So he did the agility.
And also, with the small, very direct steering wheel, you can really handle it very, very well, I think. The car, accordingly, what I still perceive as a highly significant problematic issue is the traffic sign recognition system. Because it says 30, max 30, but there really is no 30 here at all. And this vision only always has vehicles driving extremely close or like previously closely parked vehicles than in the alarm signal. That means if I simulate this scenario here, it triggers an alarm when you drive past a car here. Now, of course, in the demonstration effect, it's doing absolutely nothing, but it's, but earlier it rang or it rang. This is really insane. We want to measure the interior noise with you at 50 kilometers per hour. 61, 62 decibels, accelerating to 70. 68, 69 decibels. Unfortunately, hitting 100 today isn't possible because we're somewhat locally and temporally restricted here in Berlin. And there's really no stretch where you could actually pick up any considerable speed. It's
Cobblestones, it's a forested path, it's definitely something. We have nothing here. Occasionally we are still somewhat limited.
Surely you also use the Tesla in an urban environment, and there we want to always try with you how easy it is to park with the individual systems. Yes, gear shifting is on the screen. We already showed you that in the Highland video, and then we have a proper guiding line where we can basically see where the car goes. Yes, this is vision only, which means it relies on cameras and sensors for guidance, making parking easier and more intuitive with enhanced accuracy and convenience. We don't have any ultrasonic sensors, which means we now have a bar back here. I don't hear any warning signal now, no beeping, no ringing, nothing. He's slowly starting now, but you can easily see from the camera that he's already pretty close to the finish line. And now I anticipate a much steadier sound, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Back then they actually had the centimeter display, I believe. That was really quite nice too.
Often you get distracted talking on the phone, filming a video like we are, and then all of a sudden it's bitch and ditch. And sometimes the camera isn't always 100% real time. Well, that does pose risks. One disadvantage, I think, is you just don't fully understand how it operates. Front camera, even Tesla doesn't utilize the front camera, which is here at the top by the rearview mirror facing outward, simply doesn't use it. What's really nice, I almost forgot, are of course the side cameras, where you can see very clearly that you won't scratch your beautiful rims. Yeah, but a front camera would be really quite nice.
Yeah, when you drive out of tight spots or streets and stuff.
You know, there are already cable conduits running up front, and integrating a camera into the bumper shouldn't be excessively expensive at all to get a really nice 360-degree system with a comprehensive view. Or, yeah, the other one too. Feel free to write in the comments how you see it. Is that enough for you at Tesla, or would you also want 360 degrees in a Tesla? Yeah, when you drive out of the gap, you get that punch, that burst of power and adrenaline. Especially when you're, like me, still in insanity mode, then it really moves insanely forward, right?
That's insane.
Keyword. But honestly, here in Berlin, it's crazy. It's not just traffic, but also those 30 zones and cobblestones scattered around, making driving a real challenge daily. So Berlin has really become such a huge metropolis.
Oh, terrible.
It's not böse Onkels, but still pretty cool.
Yeah, you can hear it clearly.
It's fun, and it really blasts through the premium sound system. Yes, amazing, right? Beautiful. I also think this center speaker is awesome.
Ja, der verteilt das nochmal richtig gut hier.
Well, Tesla's always kind of had a knack for sound, right? Yeah. Baba dam, bam, bam, bam. Right at this moment, we are presently testing the new autopilot system together with you right now here in the downtown area. He simply stopped at a green light, although it clearly showed green at the time. So that's a really nice feeling that our car has the FSD beta here, FSD, the full safe driving pilot installed, ready to use for our trip. Now we have to check here, oh dear, my precious God, we almost hit that really big car. So sorry, Tesla, we demonstrated your autopilot on the country road, works fine now. We displayed it to you on the highway, it worked pretty well, didn't it?
Ja, da war eigentlich
That was
sogar
really
richtig
incredibly
gut, ne?
great. But here, it's mainly due to the crowd. There are simply just too many overwhelming impressions for him to handle.
As soon as you touch the wheel a bit firmer, it immediately disengages
genau.
itself.
Ja.
So this is really a system that sometimes drives you crazy. I mean, there are situations where you do it perfectly, where you think, wow, how awesome is that? And then you have everyday life again, I'd say, just like here at the traffic island. Okay, because the guy at Tesla who handed over the car to us actually took pictures of the wheels.
Oh, you need to poop.
Well, not that we'll scratch anything here. So, but like this, you know, look, now I have the wheel. He indicates I should touch the wheel. So now I've barely touched it because it would have disengaged again, you know? Well, I mean, it actually works quite surprisingly well over here at this particular spot now, doesn't it? And this vision-only system also shows all other cars. So Tesla, whoa, it would have totally hit that thing.
Well, it didn't recognize that. It recognizes people, dogs, and everything. We can see that on the display, but he dislikes the traffic island.
And you know, there's like the question, is it really that much different in America? I mean, they probably don't have that many traffic islands or something.
Yeah.
So it's not like we can't manage it here or not. No. Let's come to the first interim conclusion because as we said, we also want to do a consumption trip and charging check with the Model 3 Performance, provide you with a 0 to 100 test, and of course another drive on country roads and the highway. I have to say I'm really impressed. Unfortunately, not by the autopilot. That's a bit like a school science project, not to be harsh or anything. But I'm impressed that Tesla is evolving, that they are focusing on the quality of their cars now, that they are incorporating good material mixes, that they are also giving the Tesla Model 3 Performance its own distinctive character, make it seem like they're installing these awesome racing seats. This is all phenomenal, and we don't even need to talk about the overall performance and power of the car. So it has endless power, and even though it has less than 500 horsepower now, which some criticize, it feels just like the predecessor, don't you think?
Ja.
Up until this point in time, I don't notice any difference at the beginning. Please feel free to correct me if you happen to see it in any other different kind of way. So I think for someone who is truly willing to spend 56,190 euros with or without financing, I genuinely think it's a super awesome everyday electric car with very, very sporty genes and quite an extraordinary array of uniquely distinctive and exceedingly remarkable features compared to the competition. So I think you need to rank the Model 3 Performance among the top 5, correct? Yes, it has to be on that list.
Certainly, it definitely belongs there.
Price performance is top notch. I think there's little alternative. And therefore, I believe for everyone looking for something sportier now, for those who want something more performant than a Model 3, whether it's standard range or dual range, this is definitely the next step up. Or I'm curious to see what you think of the Model 3 Performance, the update. Many of you already have the previous model, so I think you can start making the first comparisons. Feel free to discuss it in the comments. Yeah, so is it specifically about the Tesla shop that recently opened? The car should now be easily available pretty much everywhere for your regular test drives. And continue further so that you can form your very own unique personal impression right there. Where the video first starts, that's where it should end. I hope, of course, you enjoyed the video. Please give it a big thumbs up. Please check again if you are part of the electric rider community. If not, we truly value your kind support. Then you won't miss the second exciting video coming soon with the Tesla Model 3 performance showcasing its speed. Then with the highway drive, consumption values, charging check, and of course the performance check, we say thank you very much for watching. Stay healthy and see you soon. Your Ollie. Stefan, I have to tell you, this small bump here, it is sometimes really subtle, but with the roofline here, it simply looks super cool and amazing.
That's pretty sleek and nice and carbon.
Carbonara.